How we doing? It's JJ. I've just come out for a little bit of time in the woods today with a full lavoo, and I'm going to have a firebox stove burn, use some of my tools that I've come out with today, and all I want to do is just do a really quick video on something that's really important when you're out. And let's be honest, if you've never cut yourself or burnt yourself when you're out in the woods, then I don't think you've been trying hard enough. Seriously though, one of the most important aspects when you're out in the woods is not only your own well-being but your safety. A first aid kit is a must. Okay, if you're going to have a fire, we use like a folding firebox stove, use an axe, use a knife, or a saw. Inevitably, doesn't matter how competent you are, how proficient you are, accidents do and will happen. Now those can generally happen for a couple of the reasons: tiredness, complacency, and just being unaware of your surroundings when you're processing wood, setting up camp, not looking above you for branches that may, with just even the smallest gust of wind, bring a branch down upon you. Wind direction can change, so it's always important to set your fire obviously well away from you. You'll always see me in my videos that my kit is always really well laid out. Now, I'm a bit of a neat freak, I'm going to admit that, but it's done for a reason. I know at any given point where my first aid kit is. Today I'm only out with a very small first aid kit, but it's got everything that I need in that should I burn myself or I cut myself. My tools, my cutting implements are always kept to one side. Everything from my saw, my knife and my axe, as soon as I've finished using them, they are always placed back with their protective coverings, and whether that's your scabbard, your axe head, your sheath, or back into their holder, they're put back so they're not left lying out so that the blades and saws and that can come into harm's way. Obviously it goes without saying that being proficient with those tools is a must, and practice makes perfect, and that's exactly the same with the first aid kit. But it's all very well and good carrying a first aid kit, and this is not about what's in my first aid kit, it's the importance of first aid. It's all very well and good having one with you, but you've got to know how to use it. Now, I dare say most of us have done a first aid course at some point. I have done numerous first aid courses throughout my life for professional and personal reasons, but medical practices change all the time, especially when it comes to burn procedures, tourniquets and other important aspects like that. Most first aid courses are generally only current for about sort of 3 years, and then you have to like update it, and that's really good. That is really good to stay updated on first aid and medical practices. If your first aid kit's got a sling in it, perfect, but every now and again just get that out, practice, know how to make a sling. Yeah, carry a shemag so you can fold it into a triangle, and you know how to make a sling. Make sure that you know exactly what is in that first aid kit. Make sure you know exactly where it is. So I'm just listening for something behind me. Doesn't matter on the size of the first aid kit. Okay, today I'm just on a very small day camp, but as I say, the first aid kit has got everything that I know that's in there, and it's all up to date. There's not dressings that have been pulled out and just, you know, been put back in there. It's all neatly folded up. I can open this and I know exactly where it is. Okay, First aid should be practiced. Just because you've done a course 3 years ago and you've never had to practice any of that doesn't mean that those skills are going to stay in your mind. Keep refreshed, okay? Practice when you go out. I personally, whenever I come out to any location, I pin my location so that my partner or a friend knows where I am, okay? Your phone, so I'm filming with my phone. As a personal practice, and I recommend you do this, take the screen lock off, just put it back into a basic function so that in the event that something does happen to you, your stress hormones, okay, are going to be elevated. You need to be able to get straight into your phone without fumbling. Yeah, that's a really important thing. Keep up to date. Yeah, there's no harm in doing a refresher course. Okay, ask friends. A lot of us in the bushcraft community, there's always courses being run, and they're a lot cheaper than you actually realise. First aid is something that should be right up at the very sort of top few personal things that you should be aware of, practice of, have that knowledge, share that knowledge, and put it into good practice. Okay, so just a really short video. First aid. You've got stuff that can burn you, cut you, slice you, make jagged stuff, okay? Knowing how to use that first aid knowledge is paramount. Always, always, always go out with a first aid kit. Thanks for watching. Catch up again soon. Bye.